We are live right now, and James and me on the today's podcast. We're basically going to talk about the 12 best WordPress plugins that you need when you're building a blog on WordPress. And I like the James setup, like SeekaHost podcast and things are coming. So
Good.
all looks pretty good. And yeah,
Absolutely.
James. So let's explain to people about James been building so many blogs and he's the WordPress expert. So he's going to explain to you all the WordPress plugins that he used personally. And those are the plugins that I used throughout the years when I was building WordPress blogs and at SeekaHost, at ClickDo, and all those blogs to grow rapidly with the traffic, with the security and all those kind of things. So James, let's get this podcast going for the people and explain to them.
Absolutely. So for that, let's get my screen up. Just make sure it's actually showing this time. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, so we're going to be discussing, as Fernando said, the 12 pretty much best plugins I'm going to suggest at the moment. Well, have you got something playing as well?
Yes, it started playing, so now it's all good.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so we're going to be going through some of the best plugins as well, and these are going to be free plugins. Obviously, you know, with all the free plugins, you get paid versions. However, these free plugins are going to be great to get started with. They're like a overall variety, so it's not for one specific thing. You know, so this is pretty much going to help anybody which is starting up a blog, because we're just going to be going through lots of different subjects. There's 12 different ones here, again, all free to download. The free versions are all going to be working great for you on here. So with that, let's get started. First of all, with what are plugins? Obviously, I'm assuming a lot of you probably do know already. For those that don't, they're apps that allow you to add extra features to your WordPress site, whether it be forms, security, migration for migrating your site over, gallery, pop-ups, mailing systems, or subscriptions. All of these things can be added to your WordPress, and they can be added quite easily just downloading a plugin from your WordPress site. As you can see on the picture, actually I probably could have done a bigger picture, but there is just so many. WordPress actually gives you one of the biggest free selection of plugins out of all the website builders out there. So for that, let's get started. I'm going to get started with something quick, easy, and something that everybody needs realistically, because actually I'm pretty sure it's part of the data law now that you got to be handling people's data properly. That's going to be your GDPR, and obviously having it CCPA ready is going to be a great one as well. Another free plugin, super easy to set up, complies with data rules, and obviously if you do check yourself, it's got great reviews, and I think this one's actually one of the most downloaded. It gives you a very nice, as soon as you install it, nice little bar along the bottom of the screen. Do you accept the cookies? Do you want to change any of the settings and stuff like that? And it's pretty much plug and play, this one. You don't have to really mess around too much with too many settings. In fact, most of the time on most of my blogs, I've used this on all of my blogs, you literally just install it and it's ready to go like that. And obviously, you know, it is quite important, isn't it, that you're holding people's data correctly now, especially with all these laws coming out about it. Shall I just, Fernando, if you do want to stop me at any point, just do, because obviously I've got these all lined up.
I mean, let's flow through. Just want to give a quick idea. Like, so basically, these are the core plugins when you start a WordPress blog that you need to build, right? So what James is explaining is the WordPress plugins that really make it easy for your WordPress blog to grow. And then also some of them are like really crucial. As he said, the privacy plugin with the data loss and everything, especially in the European region. Like, so if you're getting the traffic, so those plugins are really important to have. So yeah, James, and also about each plugin, tell them the advantages and why we need to have it. And one more thing, are we going to, so this is basically about the plugins that everybody needs to have, but not about SEO plugins or anything. I think you have another post about SEO plugins.
Yeah, well, we do actually include an SEO plugin in this as well. So we do have one of the best ones in here.
Nice one. So you're going from 12 to number 1, right?
Basically that, yeah, we're going to work our way down. It's not really in a specific order, but we do have 12 and we're going to be working our way down basically. And we do try and cover a bit of everything. So whether it's, you know, like security, SEO. Another thing that I want to add as well, this isn't just a list that we've pulled out of, like, you know, a top 10 list online. These have been specifically tested, all of them, used myself, and actually made sure that they're the best out of all of the bunches, because obviously with most plugins you actually get a variety. You know, if you search form as a plugin, you're going to get about 5, 6, maybe up to 10 different plugins that all give you, you know, similar features, but some of them are obviously going to be better than others. So what I've tried to do is I've tried to choose like the cream of the crop here, ones that I've used the most and ones that have worked really well for me as well.
Okay, that's right. So let's go through with these plugins, the most crucial plugins, and
absolutely. So at number 11, we've got Social Share Icons, Social Share Plus. Now this actually you do actually have quite a lot of different plugins for this, and some are quite good. One thing that I really preferred for this is the fact of the setup. I did include a picture on the bottom right of the page, and that is the whole setup there. So, you go through what icons do you want to show, what do you want the icons to do, where should they be displayed, and then you get a lot of optional things as well that you can add to it. Along with that, you can set up your RSS feed. Basically, all your posts, once you do post them, will come up with a really nice, right at the bottom saying, do you want to share on Facebook? But it gives you other options as well, like, do you want to like our face on Facebook, or you can share it to their Facebook. It's all really well interlinked as well with Twitter and other social aspects as well. So basically, every post, if you do want to add it to pages as well, after they read it, it's going to increase visitor interaction, first of all, because they're clicking something on your page. Then they're sharing it. So you're getting a bit of off-page SEO there from other people liking it, potentially coming to your page off there. So this is just I think it's just a good one for any blogger, because, you want people to share your stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
And it's obviously much easier than having to copy the URL and then go on Facebook and paste that. It's just simply click a thing, go through your Facebook, and then you can share it. What else have we got here? Oh, another thing with this one as well, it does actually have pop-ups included. So I know sometimes you might have to use like other plugins like Boxzilla and stuff like that to get a nice pop-up, say subscribe now or something like that. This comes included in this plugin for free. So you can, put
so this plugin is free, right? So do they have a paid version as well? Probably.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure all 12 of these plugins, they're free, and they've got the best amount of free features, but they do also have a premium version. So that's another reason why I'm suggesting them, because like you can get them for free, you can get really good usage out of them. But then if you do decide that you want to go a little bit further, they do all have premium versions as well. However, the normal version is really good. It gives you so many options.
Yeah.
Like in one plugin as well. So rather than having to like sort out your RSS feed with another one and get social sharing plugin and then get like a pop-up box thing all together with this one. So works really well, really easy to set up as well. For the RSS feed, they have a free feature. So when you go to set it up, you can set it up with them. And, as long as you've got under a certain amount of blogs, they'll allow you to use their features there, which is pretty cool. So let's go up next. Next up, we have WP Content Copy Protection. This is something that actually I only found this one a number of weeks ago, but I've tested all the other ones, and this seems to be one of the best ones. This is going to be for people that, you're writing content, putting pictures up there, and you're getting fed up of people taking your content. All they got to do realistically is just highlight all the words.
Plugin. I knew this plugin for so long, but never really used it. And I see you using it on most of the plugins, and even some of my team. It's really important.
Oh, absolutely.
It make life easier, because people can't just highlight, copy, paste. This is a very important plugin.
Do you know how I noticed this as well? I actually kept, when you check yourself on Ahrefs and SEMrush, I kept seeing lots of little links for a SeekaHost picture, but through another site. So I checked all these links out, and basically other people were just coming onto my site, stealing the images, put in a really bad link to SeekaHost without even you can click it, and then just using that as top 10 Minecraft server things to suggest. But obviously, you don't really want them using your images, and plus they weren't my images, they're actually SeekaHost images. So, it was just getting it all wrong. So by doing that, I literally stopped it all, people, unless you can, and they do the one where you copy the URL and they're using my URL. So that's going to stop that. And another thing, it just completely stops anybody being able to highlight the words that you've written. So say you've written a 2,000 word blog post, it's really good, it's starting to rank, you don't really want other people with your unique content. This is going to stop that. There is no way. I mean, apart from actually taking a screenshot of your page and then uploading that, they can't copy the words on there unless they sit there and write it one by one. So this is, I depending on what you do, especially, or if you have pictures that you sell and stuff like that, this is going to be quite an essential one that I would say. Again, easy setup, and it does come up with a really cool warning as well. If somebody does actually keep trying to copy your thing, it will come up with a red flag. I didn't get a picture of it, but it'll come up with a little red warning in the middle saying, sorry, this is content protected. So another really great one. Obviously, depending on what you do, and but I do suggest it, especially if you're writing a lot of good content out there and you're thinking, I want to keep this unique. I don't want other websites with the same content, especially if they're copying and pasting. Right. On to number 9, which is going to be Rate My Post. Again, this is optional. However, I really like plugins that increase interaction, because obviously search engines see this as a good thing. They're seeing as more interaction on the page, people going through to other things. And what a better way than actually rating your posts? And not only can they leave a comment, now they can also rate it. Rating comes as stars or trophies. You can change that, and you can also add little things like in the settings, like IP tracking, so you can't get one person coming and giving like 10 ratings. They've got to give one rating. After that, it'll say, sorry, you can't leave another one on this particular post. It's got great rating systems. Obviously, like I said, free plugin, increased visitor interaction, and it looks really cool as well. I've used this on a number of my blogs and also one of the like Minecraft server listing ones.
Can you show an example, or how does it look, or if the guys can see that, right?
Yeah, let me see if I can. Right, where have I got it? So I do believe on Play Minecraft servers, I have got the rating system here. So basically, if we go to the server listings, we should see that you can then go ahead and rate one. So let's say we go to this one right here. You see I've got trophy system set up right here. Yeah. So instead of stars, I chose trophies. So this is a 5, it's been rated by one person, a 5-star. And the rating system is simply just here. So, it's easy. You can actually, I think you can even change that wording as well.
Yeah, the rating system. Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. So, you can leave your rating. After that, I'm not sure if it will actually let me. So I think I might have voted for this one. But anyway, you submit your rating. If you have voted already, it will simply tell you, sorry, you can't vote again, just to keep it fair. And yeah, I think it's a really good little system. And also, it will just work for any post. So it doesn't have to be like a listing site like this. It'll be any post.
Just like install it, right? Just install and
yeah, get it at the bottom. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Nice one.
Let's go. Where were we? Content protection. Rate my system. Right. Next up, and most probably everybody has seen this. Askimet anti-spam comes as default, doesn't it, on WordPress, even when you start any blog. But one of the things that a lot of people don't do is actually set this up. Like it takes about 5 minutes, but most people, because it's not like you click install or you click activate and it just happens. You have to do like a little bit of sign up things, put your email and stuff like that. But I really do suggest doing it. It's a default on WordPress for a reason. It's really good, detecting bots, spam comments and stuff like that. And it integrates with so many other plugins. Almost every other plugin will integrate with Askimet spam protection. Through your reCAPTCHA for forms and stuff like that. So it's really good. I always am going to suggest this because obviously, it's a good spam protection. You can get other ones as well. I'm not saying this is the only one. This obviously just is a good one. And as it says on the picture as well, it integrates with WooCommerce. So if you do have an online shop, as well as your blog, that's going to be great for that. As you probably know, you get a ton of spam comments, don't you, on your blogs?
Oh, yeah. Like as the blog grows and everything, people try to do those comments to get to backlink, So having this is really important. Otherwise, you'll get hundreds and hundreds of comments that you have to go about and just waste your time. And there are a lot of things like that.
Absolutely. And it's funny sometimes, it makes me laugh the way they put the links in there. It's like, that they'll just link a little word, or sometimes I've even seen it as a letter so people don't know and click on it. But
some are like really bad work though. Yeah.
Oh, they are. Like some of the stuff they'll say, it's luckily that spam comments aren't allowed straight away, otherwise it would look bloody terrible. So next up is an SEO plugin, like Fernando mentioned earlier. And I'm going to suggest this one. There are actually 2, aren't there? You also get Yoast SEO. And realistically, they both do round about the same job. It just depends how you like it set up and how you like the layout. Personally, I prefer all-in-one SEO. I like the layout and I like the options that you get for the free version. As it says there, free version has lots of different options. The paid version does give you a few more free options. I believe it's something to do with the meta with the images. But, even without that, it gives you loads of handy tips. It even gives you a little score out of 100. How well are you doing? How's your score? And then underneath that, it will tell you exactly, are your sentences too long? How long's your description? How long's your title? You put in your keyword and it will track the keyword throughout if you've put it throughout headings. And it's almost like a tutor on your WordPress that will, it will just remind you, go, oh, have you put this? Or, you've put too much of this. Maybe you should put it down a little bit. It's got, other stuff like sitemaps, better search engine appearance. That's an important one for anybody that doesn't know how to, like when you search on Google, you get the title and then you get the description underneath.
Yeah.
That's the way how you can make that look better. It, allows you for any page to show you and you can change the search appearance, how it will look like on Google, on Bing and stuff like that. So you can put a really nice title, you can put a nice description, and it'll do it for your homepage and any other page as well. Your social sharing as well, you can change your preview. So when people share it on social, so let's say you've got a really good blog post somebody shares it, how do you want that to appear? What image do you want to appear? You can change all of that with all-in-one's SEO. And again, free version, lots of features. And then obviously, if you do feel like you need a little bit more, you can go ahead for the paid version. I don't know, have you got any other SEO sort of plugin suggestions, or is this the one you mainly use as well?
I mean, I use all-in-one SEO plugin since I ever started SEO. I tried with a little bit of a Yoast, and I felt it's a little too much work, right? A lot of people say the Yoast is good, and also, I mean, this made what they got used to. For me, since I ever started SEO, this was one of the easiest plugins to configure. Now they have the pro versions and the stuff. I haven't still yet used the paid version, but because but I see there are some advantages on the paid version, like the images and like optimization things. But this would do the job for any blogger who's getting started, any business website who want to meta titles, meta descriptions, keywords to be put and do. This plugin does the job. So
absolutely,
and, easy to install. In a matter of minutes, it can be set up. And on a coming podcast, I think James, you even covered it on some your WordPress tutorial, how to even write the meta details on this plugin. You know,
we done a podcast about it actually. About a week or two ago, didn't we? About adding SEO, and actually this was the plugin that we used. And also just goes to show how long Fernando's been doing this, and he still hasn't needed the pro version. So
I used
a lot of features.
Plugin from, I would say, from 2014. Even we use this on our private blog, network blogs, business sites, clients. When I was doing SEO and a client comes with Yoast plugin, I would recommend and attain this for that, because like SEO, but this is very easy to use. So a go-to plugin, you know. So
absolutely, Joe. One thing I did notice about Yoast SEO is the fact that I don't know whether it doesn't give you the feature for free, but you know, we put in your keywords into all-in-one SEO, and then it will help you put it throughout the content. I didn't find that as a free feature on Yoast SEO, or they put it in a really hard to find place. So yeah, that put me off as well, if I'm quite honest. But yeah, so on from that, as I said, this is going to be a large variety. We're doing a bit of everything, and this is going to be for forms, and it's going to be the form plugin that I do suggest. Now, I'm not going to say this is the only good one. There are good ones as well. Contact Form 7 is one of the best known ones. WP Forms and other stuff like that. One of the reasons that I do actually suggest this pretty much every time, though, is because it's got the easy setup that they all have in terms of it's a drag and drop. You can put a name field, email, and stuff like that. However, with the free plugin, you also get the payment integration, so you can get payments with Stripe, PayPal, without having to go for the premium version. Integrates with a lot of other plugins like Contact Form 7. So let's say you already have forms made with that. You can then bring them over into the Forminator and make them a form like that. You get a ton of options which you can use, and one of the best things I found is that you can view your submissions openly. What the other plugins might do, like WP Forms or WP Forms Lite, you get the free version, all works well until you want to check the submissions. So when you get a submission on your form, it gets emailed to you, which is all good, but then when you want to check it on your WordPress, you need the pro version to check them all. So what this one does is it simply allows you to check any submission at any time. You can check all of them no matter how far they go back. So for that's why it sort of made it up on this list for me, because it sort of ticks all the boxes. It's got the features, it's got the payment methods if you need them. You can add reCAPTCHA really easily, and it also integrates with other stuff like, you know, the anti-spam plugin, so you don't get bots sending through. And of course, the biggest thing for me was actually checking your submissions, because let's say you want to check some data or an email from somebody that emailed you a few months back, you know, like you need to be able to check it. Otherwise, you're going to need the pro version and you're going to end up forking out more money. So, you know, saving money and getting a good job done as well. Obviously, you usually use Contact Form 7, don't you, normally? Is that your normal?
That's the only form I've been using, but I know the guys like Nuan and all, they have found out different like specified contact forms that you can add a lot of elements and all. But to get started, Contact Form 7 works very easy. But you're using this one.
So I'm using Forminator for mine now. I switched over after I had the submissions problem, because I kept
now this is working well.
Yeah, really well. I'll use it for all of them. Really instant as well. Like,
Contact Form 7 is just a starter level contact plugin, you know, no much of options and the stuff like, So
this one's nice. I'm trying to think which one I've got it on. I won't show it now, but yeah, it's got loads of options. And also I did integrate one of the payments into one of them just to see how easy it was. And it took no time whatsoever. If you already have a Stripe account, it was really easy just to connect that. PayPal connects easily as well. So that was really easy to sort out. Right, from that, let's move on to number 5, and this is going to be redirection. Again, for stuff like 301, 404 errors, pages that you can't find, this is going to be really good for that. Again, there's a number of plugins that you can use for this. I just found this to be really good in terms of it was easy to use. Anybody, even the starter person, on their blog will be able to use this and redirect pages. Free version, you get pretty much all the features you need. I think with the paid version, you can redirect a little bit more specifically. Depends if you need that. But obviously, you can redirect lost pages, which is great for a PBN. If you do have, PBN blogs, you got lost pages or something from a what do you call it now? An old domain that you just bought, expired domain. You got lots of good posts from that expired domain. You want to make sure they're linking. You can just redirect them with this plugin. So if it's / like cookie recipe, you can redirect that back to your homepage. It also redirects people on your blog if they've gone to another broken link or a broken page. You can redirect them back to wherever you want them to, potentially your blog. Easy to use, great reviews, and I actually use this on a number.
I use this plugin. I also use this plugin basically, sometimes in a blog you have 2 related posts and Google starts ranking 1 and you see what's picking up. So and then you actually, when you compare the content, what I would do sometimes, I would take the chunks of content with this particular post, put it on this one, which is already ranking, redirect one for this, pass on all the power and move that one, so that's something I do. This plugin makes it all easier. URL redirections is pretty easy with this plugin.
Yeah. It's as easy as literally on the left-hand side, it'll say, redirect from, and then on the right-hand side, redirect to, and it is simply as easy as that. It even gives you the pages options and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a really good one. Next up is WP Server for a bit of security. If you are looking for security and what's a good general security, what can it do, which one? There are actually quite a few good ones, to be fair. iThemes, you got WP Security, which I think is now iThemes. You do have a number 1. However, I'm just going to suggest this one. This is one that I've actually started as of the last sort of month or so. I've actually put this on most of my blogs because it suits a variety of different things. Obviously, you can change your URL slug. I think we speak about this in the last podcast a bit, didn't we? Like about adding security and stuff like that.
Yeah, that one was about the security, WordPress security.
That's it.
We were watching. You can, James, if you had the description link to that podcast, which is the last one, which is on the SeekaHost, and also on my channel, you guys can see we covered entirely about WordPress security and setup. Which James covered on this part.
Absolutely. So I'll just lightly go through this, but obviously you can do stuff like limit login attempts. If somebody's trying to log in as the admin, how many times can they try before you ban them? Do you want to ban their IP? How long do you want to ban their IP? Disable PHP scripts and XML RPC, which might sound like a load of nonsense if you don't know what they are, but it's a really good thing to have because it's little ways for people that can get into your WordPress site. Good general security. It also has malware scanning, and the reCAPTCHA is super easy to set up. Literally takes a minute. All you need to do is go on your reCAPTCHA, get your site key, get your secret key, and it will protect all of your forms as well. So if you're not using Ascomet, you're not using other anti-spam things, sorry, you can use this, and it's also got its own. I do believe, if I'm not wrong, I think it's got its own anti-spam one already installed before you put the reCAPTCHA. It's a really good one. I do suggest it. I use it for pretty much all of mine, and it's really good. Just it's quick and easy. It's simple. If you want to change the slug, you can change it so people can't log in with WP admin. And sometimes I would suggest maybe having a variety of different security plugins. But if you are literally, you're just starting, you need a security plugin that's general altogether. This will be the one I'll suggest pretty much. And then otherwise, obviously, check the link and you'll be able to see all the other ones as well, which we did suggest in our last podcast. Now, I know you use this one as well, don't you? The WP Fastest Cache plugin for deleting cache and stuff like that. I find this to be one of the best or easiest to use, I suppose, just because of the options that it gives you. Obviously, you've got easy setup, deletes cache, deletes minified CSS or JS, but it just lets you do it very easily. Also does stuff like once you do make a post, it will delete the cache afterwards, so you don't end up with more stuff on your memory for your WordPress, which will then start slowing down your site. It deletes all of the unnecessary stuff. However, it just gives you a very super easy way of deleting cache. You make a big change on your page, and it's not showing up because obviously it's cached in different places. You just hit delete cache or you delete minified CSS JS, and it is instant. Anybody can then see the changes. And it's just like it's not an overall complicated plugin. You know, it does what it says on the box. It deletes the cache.
James,
sorry,
James, quick one, right? Like I know, but the Amazon is coming today with the drive.
Oh yeah, I don't think it's there, but let me just take this call 1 second. Just
Yeah, which is fine. This podcast, anybody can see that. We have to take the calls, you know, these live then and there. So yeah, guys, as James explained, this WP Fastest Cache is such an easy plugin that you can use, and I've been using it. This is one of the very first plugins that I use. So it's cache out and make sure the website loading speeds becomes much smoother, you know. So easy to install. Search for this plugin, install it, and then there's a couple of things to do in the configuration in the settings, but it's almost very easy to do this plugin.
Absolutely. And yeah, sorry about that. Unfortunately, it was not our Amazon delivery that we've been waiting for. I know, that's annoying.
Yeah, I got a message that they're coming today. So Amazon, right? So
I know, yeah. Unfortunately, the quick and easy when it does get here. Nice one. So let's move on. Hidden featured images on all single posts and pages. I don't know. Have you ever had to use anything like this before? It can be specific.
No, I haven't. Hidden feature image on. I actually haven't used it. Have you used it? You've been using it?
Yeah. I had to use it actually for one of the websites I built about the flooring, because what happened is when certain pages or posts would display the featured image right on the top, which just didn't suit the look of it. You know, that we didn't want that featured image stuck right on the top of the post. When you go into it. So this will actually do this really well. So, you know, let's say you create a post and you've got a nice image on the top. However, when you post it and people click on your post, it shows the featured image, your title, and then the image, which can ruin it depending, or you might have used the same image for your feature image and the first one, which then makes 2 images. This will very quickly and easily take that featured image away from the page or post or add it. You know, simply 1 click underneath the featured image, you can say hide featured image or don't hide feature image. So if you've got like a services site and, you know, you don't really want lots of pictures on there, or you want the first bit to be a big title, some buttons and stuff like that, this is going to be a great way. It's got lots of great reviews as well. And it is easy. It's easy to set up. Once you set it up, it's 1 button on each page and post right underneath the featured image. So, you know, you want to take it off on that particular one, select that. If you want to leave it on another one, you don't press it. So it's as easy as that. And it does the job well. Sort of, you know, what it says is what it does. And since that, I've actually used it on a few, because I did notice before, I thought you just weren't able to remove the featured image. However, this does that nicely.
Yeah.
Right, on to our number 1. Again, not in any specific order, just worked out that this was number 1 in the end. And this is going to be user role editor. I did have a bit of a test with different role editors, because you do have a number of them, and it's, you know, most have good reviews, some have a few bad reviews mixed in them. However, I did use this one. I found this to be one of the best, especially if you want to make a logging in system, different authors, different editors on your blog. Maybe you're growing quite substantially, but you don't want everybody to have the same access. You know, maybe you want some of your authors just to have some access, you know, then you want your editor to have a bit more access. This is going to be the one to use, because it's just got a huge amount of different options. It's not just simple, like, you know, this person can write a post. It will actually go into what they're allowed to do within that specific post. You know, you can change it. So on the WordPress, they don't see everything on the left-hand side, so they can only see certain options. And I actually used this really successfully for a booking system not so long ago. So certain people can book onto certain pages. Managers can make a manager portal and go on to that. Other people can't. You know, authors can write on certain pages, and this is really, really good for that. Especially, like I said, you've got a big blog, you've got multiple authors on there. You know, you've grown substantially, but you don't want them all to have exactly the same access. This is going to be it, and it works really great off the bat. I find it fairly simple to use. I'm not sure if everybody else does, but, you know, you select the team member or the role even, and then you just select their capabilities, and it's instant. Works just like that. I don't know, have you ever had any use this before? I know Cassian's used this.
I see the guys at the Click do use it a lot on our guest posting blogs. There are a lot of publishers are involved. That's a plugin on most of our private blogs with multiple authors, multiple access levels needed. They install this plugin. I've been seeing it, like the teams using that, and it's a good plugin. You know, so you can give access levels for each editor, each user, so you know what they did, and for like tracking and everything. So pretty good plugin. And looking at the reviews and the stuff, as you said, it looks like
no, absolutely. And so that'll be Stop share there. Go back to us.
Yeah,
that's the end of the presentation.
So yeah, guys. So you heard the top 12 plugins that we use for WordPress blogs when we're actually starting a WordPress blog, a private WordPress site, or even for a business site. When we do that, these are the plugins that we tell our developers to do, and it's really easy to use those plugins, as James explained. So anybody who's watching this video, if you have any questions about installation, not sure about whether it would work for your e-commerce site, business site, for small business, drop a comment below. Ask James. Anytime you can email to james@seekahost.co.uk. All these plugins he showed, he's personally using almost on a daily basis. So he knows configuration and support at SeekaHost. You guys can hit us on the live chat support, and we help on the live chat as well, and also callbacks you can request. And that's pretty much on this podcast.
Before we end it as well, we do have a really good article with all of these plugins and a slightly longer description on SeekaHost.app.
Below on the description on who are watching on YouTube. And once again, guys, like, it's been a nice session. Our sessions are getting really good. You guys can see James' setup is getting really good. I like
nice. I like that. Yeah.
Podcast. And
little touch.
Very soon we're gonna come with like the Dark Knight and all those kind of the color sessions and the stuff. So make sure you subscribe for the channel. And we are just like pretty much going to go hard on this year with more and more episodes coming. And in future, we are planning to bring more of our team members to the podcast. So we will bring more experts who are actually doing on a daily basis each plugins, things about WordPress, site building and things. So make sure you subscribe, and we will be back for another episode this week.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Listening. Bye-bye.